Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Kev's Weekly Pool. A lot of great comics came out this week. Without further ado, how about we get into the comics that came out this week and not just talking to myself. Can't wait to see you on the other side. Alright, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Kev's Weekly Pool. This is part 22, and like I normally like to do, I like to rant. So today's rant will be about cancellation for the DC titles. So far, it has been confirmed with the cancellation of Superwoman and the cancellation of Cyborg, and soon a cancellation for Blue Beetle. Me personally, I just started reading comic books in the year 2016, the fall season, so February-ish. I just started reading comic books. So when DC did their it wasn't a reboot, but it was pretty much like a relaunch, and so it was called DC's Rebirth. And such titles that came out during that time were Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Arrow, Aquaman, Superwoman. Now, I didn't pick up Superwoman's comics until about towards the end of 2016, and I've been reading her comics ever since. She was more so a she was more so a monthly comic. She didn't come out more than just once as the other DC titles. So her comic ends at issue 18, and Cyborg Comics, his issue ended at issue 20. I mentioned in my previous Kev's Weekly Pool, I believe it was part 20, and then it was part 20. Pretty much what happened was I didn't get my Cyborg comic. My comic book store owner must have forgotten, and I blamed it on the way that DC changed the cover art and all that no longer reads DC Rebirth, but now reads DC Universe. So it is sad to hear or to see that these comics ended. I do not know why they're canceled, that much so, but they were inspiring comics, especially for Cyborg. If you're a young African American teenager, and or any background of your culture, your race. And as well as Superwoman, she was, an upbuilding vision for young girls. I know you're probably thinking, well, we got Wonder Woman and we got Supergirl. Those are all that matter. Yes, that does matter, and essentially, Wonder Woman is pretty much Superwoman, but she's different. But I was reading the Cyborg comic, the one that just ended and wrapped up just a couple of minutes ago before recording this video, and it said the end. Now, for Marvel and DC, for Marvel, when that issue was done, they'll say this is what's going to happen next, and in Marvel they'll show majority of the times the next issue that's coming out. They'll show you the cover art for it, so that way when you go to the comic book store, you remember this is the issue that they said was going to come out 2 weeks back. Unless you're subscribed to your comic book store is always going to pull it for you. For DC, they'll just say to be continued and whatever the next title would be. But to see the end, that it rung up something. I mean, I had to double check it and look it out. And when I Googled it, it confirmed that Cyborg is canceled. Issue 20 is the last issue. So I will be wrapping up the last issue of Cyborg. I literally have, I guess if you want 2 to 3 trades worth of Cyborg. And then after reading Cyborg, it wasn't intentional. Like, again, I didn't Google none of this until later on, and it showed after I read Superwoman, at the end of her issue, it read the end, and I'm like, well, what's going on? Is this some kind of trend? So I had to double check. I said, this time I typed in DC Rebirth titles that are canceling, and obviously this was already made into a decision back in 2017 that the first Rebirth title, one of the first Rebirth titles to be canceled is Superwoman, followed by Blue Beetle, he still has, I think, an issue coming out, an issue or two before that story arc is over. And now, obviously, Cyborg has been canceled. A lot of people do not like Cyborg for whatever reason it is. I am not a fan of the Teen Titans Go TV show, but he collaborates better with the Teen Titans than he does with the Justice League. With the Justice League, you don't have time to be funny. You're an adult now. It's serious. You have to protect people. With Teen Titans, you have to protect people, but you're not dealing with the issues that Justice League was dealing with. You're dealing with Deathstroke and then like normal or lower base things that really doesn't concern that much effort. And the experience that Beast Boy and Cyborg had together when I was watching Teen Titans stuck out to me. I felt laughter. It felt like chemistry was there. Reading a Justice League comic book with Cyborg being on the team, it's not there like it is with Beast Boy. So I get why some fans might not like Cyborg being on the Justice League, but this was a decision that was made back, obviously, in 2011 when they did the new DC New 52. Now, far as anything go, I don't see why they would cancel Blue Beetle. I read a couple comments when I was looking this up, and some of the readers, they didn't like the artwork for Blue Beetle, and I agree. I did not like the artwork. The cover art for Blue Beetle is eye-catching. It's like, oh wow, this is great artwork, and then you flip over the page to start reading, and it's like, what is this? It was horrible. And whoever the artist is now for Supergirl realized it, because now her artwork for Supergirl is way better than it was in the first couple of issues. And when you go pick up her trade, you'll see the difference between her first Supergirl Rebirth and the Supergirl Rebirth issues now. I figured this is what we'll rant about today. Again, it's sad to see some titles go. But if this is any spoilers, I mean, obviously you can go and double check for this out for yourself. There is a new Justice League story arc written by a new writer. I did not. I think his name is Kevin. And so far, the Justice League storyline is dealing with some real life basics. Like, we don't need the Justice League to defend us. They stepped in our territory. The police stepped in their territory, on and so forth. But the article read that soon Cyborg will be the leader for the Justice League. So this is something I hope will get fans to not feel betrayed or have any hatred towards it. I feel as though Cyborg deserves some kind of spotlight in the matter. So hopefully this will work out for him. Yeah, that's it for my ranting. You'll see this ugly mug in a couple of seconds. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's of Cavs Weekly Pool. A lot of great comics that came out this week. Also, a lot of great trades for this week, and also collectibles for this week, and I also want to show just what else much more he has to offer. I think next week I'll get into the toys. Might want to get you guys to check those out because they're amazing, and I can't wait to show you guys after I'm done paying off my next collectibles. As you see, I got the collectibles up there. I can't wait to show you what else I was planning on getting. So that's definitely what I'm excited about. This week's topic, or this week's rant, pretty much it got to me. You know, I'm a Cyborg fan. Matter of fact, you can go check out dropped last week's unboxing and tune video, and it was the Teen Titans edition of it that came out, and Cyborg was partially themed in it. I mean, all the other Teen Titans was in it, but he was partially a teen part of it. And also got this right here patch. Think about sewing it on. I'm thinking about sewing it on to a hat or something like that. I figured that part out when I actually get to buy me either a black or probably like a grayish, blackish hat, which would be awesome. But you can definitely go check out that video. It's probably going to be up here at the end somewhere, probably like right here in the video. But I'll definitely make sure I'll leave that for you guys to click on over and go watch it. But also, amazing thing came with that was this amazing Teen Titans book, New Teen Titans, the first issue. So I'm definitely happy that I was able to get something like that. But I don't want to spoil it for you guys. You guys should check it out. I'm going to show you about like 3 things. There's some other stuff that you guys definitely want to go check out. But what also my daughter was able to pick up from the comic book store was this Spider-Man's mug. This thing is awesome. Ultimate Spider-Man. And yeah, it's a nice cup. She can't wait to drink her hot chocolate out of it. So I'm happy for her. And I was also able to pick up this nice cup. I mean, this thing is thick glass. I'm talking about, like, I got my man Wolverine on here. Boy, hot. Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let you get back to whatever it is you were doing before you clicked on this video. Happy that you were able to watch it. Hope you guys feel the same way as I did when it comes to Cyborg, or you know, Superwoman, or soon to be Blue Beetle. So definitely go to your local comic book store, pick up their trades, because now that will be out. And I'll catch you in next week's video. As always, I've been Kev, you've been you. Let's stay tuned.